welcome to the Regular Joe's Podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
What's going on, everybody? I know we have friends in Florida and places like that, so I'm hoping everyone's okay. I know Ian sort of was. The last time we recorded, it was just going on, and now we're totally in the aftermath, and certainly up the coast of the East Coast. So hopefully, I think I saw our pal Eben is okay. I know we have a couple other friends in that area, so hopefully you're all doing okay. I know that was just freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy. Kind of feels like it came out of nowhere, but...
Yeah. I know, we're sort of getting the tail end of it up here, which is absolutely nothing, practically.
Yeah, just some wind and rain.
Florida. And, if you want to do something, the Red Cross, I donate to them all the time when there's a tragedy. Yep. Money goes to the right place, so that if you can do it, do it. There's lots of other ways to help. So...
I saw some interesting posts from people the day or two after that were saying, and I know it's ridiculous, especially for when there's so many people that got badly affected, but like they were saying the lines at Disney were super short, like within a day or two after. Like I guess they reopened the park and people were saying best time to go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I will say on the back of what you said, Dave. There's a lot of different charities that you can give money to, but do a little research and make sure you go with something known and someone engaged. There's shitbags out there right now running scams, collecting money from people trying to make donations.
Totally, that's why I try to stick
and that's
to
where
there's
the Red Cross a lot of groups, and just make sure you know who you're dealing with. It kind of makes me sick when people's best instincts are exploited like that.
Yeah. I know. I don't know, Barry. You may say our pal Gordon's brother house got totally.
Oh,
totally
did he? I didn't see that. That's awful.
Yeah. So Gordon, thoughts with your brother out there for sure. So anyway, do what you can do, and hopefully everyone. I mean, I know the death toll keeps going up, but it's awful. So sorry to start off on a down note, but let's go into an up-tempo song. No. So we're going to talk about, we meant to talk about on the show, we're going to talk about the Quantum Leap reboot. What's that sound you're hearing, the scraping the bottom of the barrel of things to talk about? Yes, that's it. No, but it's a show that we all liked in the past, and it's interesting to see what they do with the future. It's funny, I was on NBC's website just trying to see how many episodes. So tonight's the third episode. We're only talking about the first episode, but in popular shows on NBC network is the reboot of The Bionic Woman, which has got to be 10 or 12 years ago, and then the original $6 Million Man. That's popular shows. So,
wow.
They've rebooted some of our favorites. I actually watched the reboot
to the internet in 1978. Like when?
No, that's why I was a little surprised. I'm like, what the heck? I guess
no
$6 Million Man just made its way not that long ago to NBC. Even though, wasn't he on ABC?
It was ABC because it started on the ABC kind of movie of the week.
Yeah, that
rotating wheel
the mystery
thing.
thump something.
Yep.
So maybe they produced it. I don't know.
There's the production companies and the ownership of things don't always line up with the
because it was the
weird
on. Situation of $6 Million Man being on one network and the Bionic Woman being on the other network because they flipped networks with that show. So halfway through that series, it was picked up by another network.
Was it?
It was. You look.
I know that happened to Wonder Woman.
No, I know. I'm telling you, that's what happened. So basically, the chances of a crossover went out the window. The last season was on another network.
Interesting. Anyway, so there's stuff to go see on NBC.com, including Quantum, which we'll talk about. The Wakanda Forever trailer dropped today. We'll talk about that a little, but we'll do some random and stuff like that. Todd, what do you got?
So, what's our current feelings on Kathleen Kennedy?
I don't really use that language about women on open microphone.
So apparently, they wanted to announce that Harrison Ford will be now Thunderbolt Ross. And she put her foot down and said, no way, no how. She did not want it to step on the Indy 5 announcements.
I can see that. That was at D23.
right. At
Yeah, I
D23,
mean,
but
they've been holding on to it since D23, and
Right.
and yeah, I had this on my
But
list.
she didn't
too.
want those announcements at D23 to take away from the indie, which I get.
Yeah, I mean, it also could
And I
have
don't
been
want
a
to. Sorry, hit my mic.
huge
I don't want to agree
Harrison
with her.
Ford announcement to say, hey, not only are we doing Indy 5, but we've also got this other thing to talk about.
Okay, so
it's
you were-
a supporting role.
I said, you were dead in one of our universes. You're resurrected in another, and now you're.
That's actually pretty cool that he's in the trifecta.
It
of
is
all the good
because
stuff.
I was just that was my point was. Does he have to be in like an animated thing now, and then he's like hit it all? Because yeah.
What do you think of that? I mean, not that character. I did think William Hurt did a good job with that character.
He did. I will say
I
he
don't know
was
if I see
never
Harrison
as
Ford in that.
gruff as he should, as Thunderbolt Ross should be, and I could totally see Harrison Ford pulling this off.
He doesn't need to act to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
He's just
a
filming
grumpy,
him as
he's
himself.
a grumpy dude, and
Wait, who was someone else that character in the earlier Hulk movie?
yes, and I can't think of who it was, but it was in the one that no one talks about. Yeah,
In the horrific, probably the worst.
yeah, yeah.
The worst, I think. I gave it a 1 rating in my thing.
Yeah,
So,
it's
interesting.
but anyways, I find that interesting. It's it's kind of cool that he's got, like I said, a foot in each one of their universes now, and
Somebody put him in a poster with this. It looked like his Jack Ryan picture with a mustache.
well,
on
you know what?
It was just horrible.
A couple of things I've seen, they used a picture from the science fiction movie a couple of years.
Ender's Game, yeah.
Ender's Game, yes, they did because he had kind of military haircut.
And he was kind of grumpy in that too, wasn't he?
He was kind of grumpy in that, and but again, like I said, he's not going to be doing action stunts. It's not going to be a huge role. He's kind of the, he's kind of the person who, to some degree, brings the group together.
Sam Elliott, and that's who I thought it should have been.
Yeah,
Sam Elliott.
He's more like the person who like approves the missions kind of thing. So it'll be cool.
Sam Elliott, they should have brought him back. That would have made sense.
Sam Elliott would have
Is he
been that
alive?
would have been interesting. Just do a little universe hop and bring him back over. So.
But I don't think anyone wanted to be associated with anything
No, I
to
think
do
they're
with
in
that movie,
complete denial.
Yeah, I think
mode.
except for Jennifer Connelly.
Disavowing it ever existing.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Barry, what do you got?
So I'll stick on the indie theme. This past weekend was Hasbro PulseCon 2022, and they announced Indiana Jones toys are coming back.
Yeah, I had that too.
So there's the 6-inch indie line, which has got 5 figures, and each one comes with a piece of the Ark. And they're all from the Raiders movie.
So like the Black Series.
Yeah, they're like the
Yes.
Black Series, and they're super detailed 6-inch figures. I've got them here. I can tell you which characters they're doing. It's Marion, Belloc, Indy, Sala, and
Tote.
And Tote
With a melting face.
with 2 heads and the hand with the arc on with the headpiece on it.
Oh, it doesn't make the arc. Doesn't it make the headpiece?
No. It makes the arc.
Is the headpiece a
The
separate
headpiece
character?
is a toy they're selling,
That's kind of stupid.
which is weird because I don't think it does anything. And then they're doing a retro Indiana Jones 3 3/4 inch figure, which is kind of cool. So here, in case you guys haven't seen these, I just texted you the
Yeah,
pictures.
I saw. I didn't see the retro one.
But the thing that I find interesting is that they're doing the 6-inch figures in the photo boxes. They're not window boxes or windowed cards. So you're not even going to be able to see the figure inside the box to know, like,
That's weird.
Is it painted properly? Or like, we talked about this months ago, that they're trying to switch over to the greener packaging or whatever. But
aren't these like direct sales things, or are these in stores?
I would imagine that they're both. I think you can pre-order them online now from some retailers, but they'll be on store shelves.
So I'm gonna nit.
Oh, I see the photo boxes. That's
Yeah.
yeah. I hadn't seen those.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I would probably get all of those. I don't know why.
They look great. I mean, I'm going to do my very best to resist them. I did pre-order the retro carded figure already.
You're going to do your best to resist them?
Well,
good
the
luck with
retro
that.
one,
I will get indie anyways.
I would definitely get just the indie.
you can pre-order them now.
They're not out until April 23.
Right.
In my building, on the 4th floor, there's like not a cafeteria, like a cafeteria where you can get a $14 sandwich if that's a cafeteria. And then on the other side is this sort of event space and everything. And Hasbro had a whole thing there today. And I don't think I realized this until, I wonder if, and I did see in the back, you weren't allowed in, as far as I know. In the background, there were a bunch of toys.
When has that ever stopped you, Dave?
I know. What was I? I ran down to grab a sandwich, and I had a meeting that I had to get back to. But yeah, what's wrong? I gotta go. Hopefully, I wonder if they're there tomorrow. I gotta go check it out.
These are probably.
I did not watch the broadcast. The online broadcast. Listen to me. I'm so old. I didn't watch the video that they had out. But my friend was texting me, and he said apparently in the retro line, he said they claim they're going to do figures in that style that they never did as part of the original line, which that's like, it's like they read, my mind, because that's all I would really be interested in, is if I can get characters from either Raiders or other movies in that original, like, 5 points of articulation
from that 2008 line you're talking about, or
I'm talking about from the vintage line, because I've got that full line of toys.
Yeah.
And if I could add some characters to it in that style, that'd be great. Just like those are the ones I'm most interested in now in the Star Wars toys, is the ones when they make retro characters.
So Barry,
who's
missing from that original movie?
From the original movie.
There's not a ton
probably
of
not a lot from the
line.
original movie, but they stopped at Raiders, so if they could do
so
they could
that's
do
what
from
I was
the other
wondering,
movies.
it seems like a pretty full line. There weren't that many characters. I guess, like, was there a Katanga?
No, they never did a Katanga. They could do Marion in the red and white outfit. They only did her in the wedding dress. They could do Tote, and maybe in a different outfit. The only one they did 2 outfits of was Belloc and Indy.
Right, yeah.
Or actually 3 outfits for Indy if you count the ones that come in the play
How
sets.
about Alfred Molina? With you have him normal and then with all the sticks thrown.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah. So, Barry, looking at the Indy figure, as a modeler, what's wrong with that?
Hang on, let me pull the picture back up.
Which one are you talking about? The little one or the big
6
one?
inch?
Yeah.
The 6 inch?
I think.
My initial thinking is, and it's hard to tell from the picture I texted you, but the picture on the photo box looks much better than the actual figure itself.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just like I'm looking at this like glossy or semi-gloss paint, satin finish paint on like the legs and on what should be fabric. The jacket I think looks great. I could even live with the hat looking that way, but it just seems like they've done much better on the things that are supposed to be fabric on other figures. It just looks odd.
Yeah,
it's reflective.
And, that's part of my problem with some of the figures that have been coming out recently. Anyway, is that just the material that they're using. Obviously, they're going to use plastic. They're not going to use cloth on these figures, but. And in 6 inch scale, you can make them look much better than you can in a smaller scale.
You can, and that's what I'm saying. It's like.
But they're just
we both had that 6 inch Rocketeer figure where the pants are actually painted to look like fabric,
right?
And they contrast nicely with the jacket, and that's the.
These are prototypes, so you never.
Yeah,
know.
it could be. The
headpiece thing, I'm not quite sure I understand. It doesn't really look like the prop. It's not like a prop replica. Because it doesn't, the red lettering and stuff and the red gem in the eye doesn't look right.
But it with 2 C-cell batteries, A-cell batteries, AAA batteries, it heats up and burns into your hand.
Well, that's cool.
Perfect.
It's like every kid wants that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. It kind of doesn't work as a kid's play toy. It doesn't work as a prop display item. Like, it kind of looks to me like it falls down the middle of suits neither audience. But the retro figure looks, I'd have to compare it side by side, but it looks pretty good.
Well, it's cool. We haven't seen them stuff in that scale, so
Yeah.
they had some vinyl figures and stuff, but nothing in that scale.
Right.
So we will see. We were talking quickly about Black Adam. I completely did not even know Black Adam was coming out October 21st until I walked through Times Square. I didn't get mugged, though, thankfully. And there are massive billboards. It comes out in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Did you guys realize that?
Not until I saw an email today about a screening, and I was like, oh, wow, that's coming out really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the trailer, so it was in my radar that it was coming out soon.
I didn't even know when it was. I didn't know it was the next movie. And then now there's commercials on TV and stuff for it. And I guess it's no mystery because it's on the freaking billboard that Hawkman is in it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't really.
Yep.
It's
Dr.
not
Fate.
on my radar.
Yep.
He was in the trailer.
Oh, was he? I don't remember. But someone else is
It
in
looks.
it.
I mean, based
Pierce
on the
Brosnan
trailer,
was
it
Dr.
looks.
Fate.
James Bond is in it. It's interesting.
Yeah, it looks good from the trailer. I mean, I know that's.
It does look good.
you know,
I mean, Rock. It's always good. Hopefully, he doesn't.
and he's wanted to make
let
this
people
movie
make
for
bad
a
movies.
really long time. So
Yeah.
but
Who
it's
I don't know
DC,
who
so you just never
directed it.
know.
Yeah. I mean, The Rock has made some, that thing with the big white. Oh boy, Ana de Armas is on my screen now. Gotta like her. I'm just looking on who
I'm sorry,
directed this thing.
I can't put words together right now.
Some guy, I never heard of this dude.
Did you
I
watch
can't
her
even pronounce his name.
NC-17 Blonde movie?
No, I gotta check that out. What has this guy directed? He's got 15 credits. So he's he directed Jungle Cruise. So Rock must have liked something about him.
He's like The Rock's personal director.
The Shallows, Orphan. Not that those are my type of things, but those are things. Orphan, House of Wax. So he did some horror movies. The Shallows, isn't that Blake Lively? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Ryan Reynolds' wife wouldn't be a bad director. We'll see. It looks good. I hope it's good. I think that will be definitely a movie I'll see in the theaters.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd like to see it in the theaters. It's just coming out at a difficult time for me. I've got so much going on the next couple of weeks, but I'm going to try to see it.
Yep.
It's funny. This past weekend, we're like, maybe we'll go to the movies. I'm like, what am I going to go see? There's nothing out that I would even
kind of
see.
felt the same way recently.
Yeah.
Yep. And I can remember, this is like life during COVID. Remember when it was like a big deal about whether or not you go to the movies or not? And it was just like, do I want to risk it for that movie?
I know.
Now it's like, there's
no
no movies.
May wear a mask
Now
in the
there's no
movies,
movies.
though.
Yeah, I would.
Maybe.
If I was needing something, I'd wear a mask. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would get some popcorn,
Yeah.
so I maybe not wear a mask.
But yeah, it's like I said, yeah.
So I just have to. This is a complete non sequitur and not one of my randoms. But you mentioned popcorn in the movie theater, so I'm going to tell this quick story. So when I went to see Clerks 3, a friend of mine was like, "I'm going to show you a movie theater hack that you've never heard of." Hack.
Yeah.
So you get your popcorn, you bring it over to the popcorn.
Wait, is this the thing with the hole in the bottom?
No, it's not. It's not that. Thankfully. No, you take your popcorn over to the butter machine, and rather than just push the button and get the butter to go on top of the popcorn, he says you take a straw. You put the straw into the popcorn bag and put the butter in through the straw so that you get evenly distributed butter.
Ooh.
Which sounded like a great idea.
Like that until
I put the bag of buttered popcorn on my pant leg in the movie theater while I was eating it, and then got butter oil stains all over.
What's with bag? What's with bag? You don't get.
Where
you
you
didn't
get
get
a
the Clerks
bag of
bucket.
popcorn?
I didn't buy the Clerks bucket, and my movie theater gives you popcorn in a bag.
Yeah.
So it was a great hack until it ruined my pants. Thanks, Mike.
That's funny.
I do like that idea, and I almost always go with the bucket because I like the buckets. So
yeah. Some places have the bucket. I've been going to the Alamo, which gives it to you in a tin bowl, a big tin, a refillable.
That would be
it's
nice.
It's a bottomless bowl.
I would not have gotten oil on my pants for the bowl.
Yeah. First of all, that stuff is not butter. I have bought.
No, it's definitely not. It's some kind of lubricant.
I have bought all the stuff to make popcorn.
Yeah.
For the movie theater
yeah.
downstairs. There is this certain liquid that they
I
put
think
on.
it's called. I totally believe it's not butter.
Yeah, no, it's not even called that.
No, Barry, there's no freaking way this is butter.
I will tell you, if you want butter, I mean, you want popcorn the way they make it in the movie there's 3 things you need. You need this coconut oil,
Yep.
which is sort of like this paste that turns to oil. You cook it. We have these silicone popcorn poppers. I should do that as what's in the box. Have you seen those?
No.
It's instead of buying the bagged popcorn, in the microwave popcorn, it's a silicone thing that you put in your microwave. So you put your own popcorn, but you put this coconut oil. There's this weird yellow salt stuff that they use in the movie theaters, and then this liquid that comes out of that machine. You can buy all that on Amazon. It totally tastes like movie theater popcorn, which none of it has real stuff in it.
Right.
But interesting.
Yeah.
All right, that was great. What else? Anyone else? Todd?
So, Finn Jones would like to play Iron Fist again in a Marvel series, and
I would too,
yeah,
but no one's letting either one of
but I was
us.
going to say it was like it's funny you say that because the odds of that are probably on par with my playing Iron Fist.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to stomp on you.
No, I'm telling you, it's like, what could there possibly be less interest in anything than a person who just screwed a pooch?
Iron Fist. No, the other guy. Who's the Luke Cage?
No, I'll tell you.
I would rather see Luke Cage back.
I would
I
actually
actually
see
didn't
Luke
think he
Cage
was
boring.
terrible.
with a good series as part of, or a supporting character in a series or in a good series. The second season was abysmal, but every minute of Iron Fist that Jessica Henwick was not on screen,
true,
or was abysmal.
I will tell him the same thing I tell my kids often. It's good to want things.
It's good to want stuff.
good to want things. Exactly.
I got another one if you're done, Todd.
Does it relate to Elizabeth Olsen?
It does not.
Okay, I was just going to say, in a related note, Elizabeth Olsen said she would like to play Scarlet Witch in an X-Men film.
I have that too, and doesn't seem like that's what she said. Someone asked her, "Hey, Hugh Jackman's going to be in Deadpool. Would you like to be in an X-Men movie?"
She said,
And she said, "I didn't know about Deadpool because I read the headline."
She said, "I guess Wolverine is X-Men. It would be cool to work with a lot of people from the X-Men franchise. I guess Michael Fassbender is my dad in some world." Okay?
Yes. But she didn't say, "Hey,
She didn't
I'd
say
like to
no
be
way,
in
no
a..."
how. And I got to say, there's a whole lot of people treating her character like she's an ongoing entity.
And Kevin Feige last week, I had this last week, but I didn't say it. He said, "We're not, there's a lot to do with that character, blah, blah, blah." Like, that character is a villain now. Doesn't anyone get that? Like, where do we go with that?
You haven't read a lot of comics, Dave.
I know, but that's what sucks about comics. It's just
like
you're
when
dead.
you're-
You're not dead.
okay, it's
Sales
like-
are up.
If you
He's
don't see
back
the
alive.
body, they're not dead. And
Oh, I don't think she's
no
dead.
one is-
I think
no
she's
one
just
who
bad.
becomes a villain, is a hero, becomes a villain, stays a villain.
She killed people, though.
Yes, so did Green Lantern, and so did all these other people who temporarily
And not in
became-
the Ryan Reynolds.
Not
Queen-
that one.
That was a great one.
Except
bored people to
Deadpool
death,
killed
but-
him.
But I'm saying
The actor,
when
not
the
the
hero
character.
becomes a villain, they go back to being a hero. Okay, happens all the time, and everyone forgets. It's like, oh yeah.
It's so funny because you
Clint
say
Barton is the reason Phil Coulson died. I was watching that yesterday.
because you say
I'm
Dave,
like-
haven't you read comics? But you could easily have said Dave, haven't you watched daytime soap operas? Because
Yes.
it's the same
I
concept.
have. I've really done neither.
Yep.
I haven't watched since Blackie was on General Hospital.
General Hospital. I mean, this sounds just like that.
You said since Jackie was on General Hospital,
Blackie.
Blackie.
Isn't that
John
Uncle
Stamos.
Jesse?
Uncle Jesse.
Oh, Blackie Parrish. Yes.
I just popped in my head because I saw CBS
Yes,
this
okay.
morning art
See,
thing on him.
again,
With
I
Jonathan
remember the
Frakes'
Demi
wife.
Moore era on General Hospital, and she was
wasn't
Jackie
And then
Templeton.
Dr. Rick Springfield was
Wasn't
in
Jonathan
there
Frakes'
too.
Templeton.
wife on
Rick
that show,
Springfield
too?
was on there.
Was he?
He was. He was a doctor.
Who's his wife?
Jeannie Francis is his wife, isn't she?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, she was Laura to Luke.
Luke and Laura and
Yep.
And it wasn't.
Wow,
Rich Springfield
we have
on that
lost
too?
any remote
Just in the
cred
80s,
we still had.
people.
Episode, just mark this down. Episode 451.
Jump
We
the
jumped
shark.
All right, real quick. I just thought this was really wild. Bruce Willis became the first celebrity to sell his rights to a deep fake company called Deep Cake, and so he has now basically like made it okay that they can make digital. They're calling them digital twins.
Update. I just looked. Update. Bruce is claiming he did not do that.
Really? Because there was literally a quote from him in the article I read.
Go on Geek Tyrant. He now is claiming. I just looked tonight because I had seen that earlier. He now is claiming that he did not do that.
Interesting, because I was about to read his quote where he talked about it.
Well,
where was it?
So here's
Bruce Willis denies reports of selling his face to AI company to make deepfake digital twin. That was only hours after they reported that he had done it.
I didn't see the retraction then.
No, I happened to just see it now because I was going to mention the other story.
Okay.
So I guess he's now saying that's not true.
Okay, well, I feel better about it because I don't know how I feel about this thing anyway. But yeah, it was wild to me that this was like now going to be. I mean, I know all the music artists are selling their catalogs, but to sell your digital likeness.
Think about that, though. This will be a thing. If this is not true yet, this will be a thing. Think how now you want to have, somebody, you want to have Christopher Lee appear in your film, or you want to have Carrie Fisher appear in your film. Or you go to their estate, and you make arrangements with their estate. Okay, that's a respectful thing. Okay, because you own rights to the character. Now think about this: there's things that don't have intellectual property attached to them already. Okay. Will you go to a broker who now owns the rights to Bruce Willis's digital image, and they can reproduce him at whatever age they want, at whatever. I mean, this is how shit's going to happen in the future. It's just
I just wanted.
creepy,
I
but
was
it's
going to tell you guys after the show, but the Regular Joe's podcast owns the rights to Finn Jones as Iron Fist. So that was an investment I made.
If a deal is to be made, it's like we're the ones that are going to benefit.
Just hoping something comes through.
And
You bought it just so we could bury it forever and never allow it to happen?
And it's why season 3 of Iron Fist, Finn Jones will have Barry's voice.
And a lightsaber.
Yeah. Yep. It's like...
All right. Well, the October 5th is the 60th anniversary of James Bond, apparently. They just had a big auction for charity a couple days ago or a week ago, like with the 60th anniversary of Bond. There's a special about the music or sound of James Bond. So you think that's in 2 days as we record this? I wonder. You think they'd use that day to say who they
the 60th
the next one
anniversary of
is?
the first film?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that they would use that to make an announcement, but boy, that'd be surprising if it came out of thin air like that.
Well, I mean, there's been speculation forever. I mean,
I guess.
I mean, I guess the 50th anniversary was. Let me do the math. 10 years ago, and I guess they were making a big deal about it. But
There were books
there's
and
stuff
things
going.
like that, but there wasn't-
There's stuff going on with this auction and things. I'm curious if. We'll see. I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
by the time this show's out, maybe there'll be some news.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll even go there, but it's only been a couple years since they got to get going. They have to. The last movie came out 2 years ago, maybe. Not even.
It was before COVID, wasn't it?
No, it was after.
Was
COVID.
it after
or during COVID?
I never saw it.
You never saw
pretty
that?
good.
I've got news for you. I haven't seen the last 3 or 4 Bond movies.
You've only seen
it.
3
You
or
just
4
didn't talk the
Bond
whole
movies.
time.
No, I said I haven't seen the last 3 or 5. I saw Casino Royale.
That's
I
one
never
of the
saw
best ones.
Skyfall. I never saw Spectre.
Skyfall was good.
I never
Spectre
saw
was
this
pretty
last
good.
one. So the last 3 I
Quantum
haven't.
of Solace. Did you see that? Because that was
No, I didn't see Quantum of Solace either. I bought it to watch it and never watched it. So yeah, I have not seen the last 4 Bond movies, which means at some point I've got a great marathon of movies to catch up on.
Well, they're all coming out on Amazon. Oh, on the 5th. Amazon bought MGM, I think, or United Artists, or one of them.
It was United Artists.
They bought whoever owns Bond, and all 25 movies are coming.
It is crazy. I was saying to somebody earlier today that I'm now at the point where I'm waiting for physical DVDs to come back around the way that vinyl did, so that maybe the 500 freaking movies I have in my basement will be valuable in some
It'll
way.
still be shitty quality. That's the problem.
I will tell you though, this whole like, oh, why do I need DVDs because they're streaming? It's like, where do you watch the Star Trek films right now? You know,
They just pulled them.
that's
as a
what
matter
I'm
of
saying.
fact.
Where do you watch those this week?
They were on Paramount, and they just took them off.
Yeah,
I don't even get it.
I don't either. But again, I just assumed that's where they were going to be because they took them off everywhere else and shuffled them over to there.
Yeah, you would have thought they'd be there forever.
And that's what I'm saying. And they
Why
should
would
be.
I don't get that? Why would they do
and
that?
that's why. And I don't know whether it's so they can still sell box sets or something. It doesn't make sense.
And if any fan base will buy a box set of VHS tapes, it would be the Star Trek fans.
VHS.
They still have
Yeah.
their VCRs and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, I just heard today. Wow, we are 31 minutes into random topics. But
That's good. It's fine. We don't have much to talk
I
about.
just read today that Taylor Swift just released a cassette. Like, her new music is out on cassette,
Really?
and not a single one of her fans has a way to play that.
I was going to
Or
say,
knows what
there's-
it is.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. This is the thing from Guardians in the Galaxy. Yeah.
Wait, does any... Okay, do you have a way to play a cassette, anybody?
No. Nope.
I have a couple of old Walkmans, I think.
I actually wish I had a way to play a cassette, because I've got cassette tapes of my old bands rehearsing and stuff that I would actually, for nostalgia reasons, pop in and listen to. I don't have a cassette player.
I know where to get you a cassette player. So
Do I still have mine? I think I got rid of mine.
I recently
was
found
on
a
this
stash
kick
of the old like classroom cassette recorder player, the little thing. So
Oh, yeah.
I can hook you up, Barry.
Great. Yeah, I'm just looking this up. Yeah, she just released something called Evermore Cassette. I don't know. It's $18. Folklore, it's called. $17 on cassette.
And that makes no sense because that is the worst sounding media, and no one has any way to play it.
Yeah, it's just bizarre.
There's a bunch of cars that still have cassette players in them.
Yeah, well, if anybody's got the new Taylor Swift on 8-track, hook me up.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only way I would want to listen to it.
Yeah, I don't listen to Taylor
Okay, any other random? You know who's not antiquated and sounds crappy? Fanboy Collectibles. Lot of Iron Studio things, statues, Vader, Masters of the Universe, Batman, Doctor Strange, ton of them. Iron Studios makes a ton of cool stuff. Speaking of Black Adam, not one, but two Hot Toys Black Adam figures. That's interesting because I guess that is a completely different body, obviously. I mean, they do use a standard body for a lot of stuff, but, right? Then the specialty ones, like the Hulk and everybody have
And they
bigger
look
bodies.
super impressive. I mean...
Yeah. So that's a cool figure. But check those guys out. As you're listening to this, if it's Friday, I think they're at New York Comic Con. I think that's this weekend, or is it?
It is this weekend. Yes,
it is this week. We're not going because talk about COVID spreader, super spreader event.
I just used COVID as a reason to stop going to New York Comic Con because I just didn't really enjoy it anymore.
I'm with you. New York is no fun place to be. So anyway, but they're going to be there. So if you're going, stop by. Say hi, buy something, tell them the regular Joe sent you.
It's a great show, don't get me wrong. It's just,
we've done it
too many times. We're old. We've been there since, I literally started going when it was a nothing show, and now it's rivals San Diego, so it's an awesome show. Just
exactly.
Yeah, I'm too old.
But check those guys out at their fanboycollectibles.com, at New York Comic Con, and at their store in Newtown, Connecticut. I don't know the booth number. But tell them the regular Joe sent you.
That Iron Studios Vader statue is really freaking cool. I just texted you guys a picture of it. It's got the rebel guy up in the air with Vader's fist holding him in the air. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That is cool. Neat. So check all that stuff out. Okie dokie. So the Wakanda Forever, which comes out soon too, November 11th, as we mentioned, or didn't, I don't remember. They just dropped like another trailer, but I mean, I thought someone said epic trailer. I guess there's a lot going on in this trailer. I thought there'd be something, but I guess we didn't see the new Black Panther with his and or her mask off. But do you guys still feel like it's the sister, right?
It looked like her body shape and style, but
it does. There's also a pop figure where you get a close up of the head, and it has the same facial markings that she had. So the mask now has the facial markings that she had under the mask.
And I didn't look into it, but I read a headline that the Lego sets they are either releasing or advertising have some spoilers in them. So I did not look at that.
Did the arm fall off of Anakin?
No, but I think it gives away a surprise character in some way.
I mean, it's got to be her. How could it not be her?
Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense that it would be anybody
could be
else.
That Lupita Nyong'o.
She's also
whatever her
front and
character's name
center
is
on the poster. I mean,
yeah, it's got to be her, and it makes sense. I mean.
Yeah, the only reason it didn't make sense,
it
wouldn't make sense, was because wasn't there concerns or issues with the actress a few months back? But other than that,
I think they were so far into it that they were, yeah.
And it's the second movie. It's not like it's the third or fourth movie. Because I was having this conversation with my friend's wife the other night when they were over about Evangeline Lilly and is she going to be done after this? Ant-Man movie, just because she's become problematic too. And as much as I love Kate from Lost, current day Evangeline Lilly is a bit of a handful.
Yeah, she's kind of a downer, right?
So I would imagine she may be done after this movie.
This just in, pre-order X06 Chakotay. I just got that
the email just came in.
This alert. Wait.
Give that company credit. They're going deep on Deep Space Nine. I mean, on Voyager.
Commander Chakotay will go
Voyager.
live.
Yeah, Voyager will be the first complete crew.
10/6, October 6th. Commander Chakotay.
Speaking of Deep Space Nine, we have not talked about this week's Lower Deck, but
no, I haven't seen it. Don't talk about it.
Okay, we need to talk about it next week. I thought it was a masterpiece.
Yeah, I will absolutely agree, and let's dig deep in that next week.
Yeah, let's make sure
that show gets better every week.
We're not recording next week. We're taking a week off, but the week after, let's make sure we hit that because I thought it was like I said, it was just
I am watching it weekly, but I just haven't gotten to that one.
All right, you were
talking
talking about
Namor.
Yeah,
we're back to Wakanda.
Back to Wakanda.
It was just hot off the presses.
I think it was a cool trailer.
It will be the second.
I don't know why I expected something like a reveal, and there wasn't, which is fine.
It's going to be the second longest Marvel release. It's going to be a really long.
Oh, the movie is?
Yes, the second longest Marvel release. So we're
almost as long as Endgame and.
Yep, almost 3 hours.
Wow. That's
Barry
too long.
hates that.
It's too long for a movie like this.
If it's good, it's fine. I like a long movie.
I think we're going to have long shots at funerals and things like that. I just have this feeling. And like you said, if it's good, it's good. It doesn't matter how long it is. But
I find the Namor thing really interesting. I don't know what they're going to
have those little flying
Can he always fly
feet?
through the air and breathe underwater?
Always did. I
don't know anything about him.
I'm very surprised they went there with the little ankle wings, but they did. What is this hero? What is this? I just said it. This seems to be missing a hero at this point. Either she's going to come in really, really early, and we're not imagining that. But if this whole thing is about setting her up, they can't take 2 hours to do that.
Maybe that's why it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
Well, there is a lot of people is he one of those? He's a bad guy and then he becomes a good guy, right?
That's fine, but I'm saying it's 3 hours is pretty. 3 hours with a huge ensemble cast works. 3 hours with a lot of people you sort of know.
Yeah, but we'll see Lupita and we'll see Michonne fighting her and all those types of people and the dude with the gorilla clan or whoever those guys
are.
It
feels too if they're having a funeral, don't we need to see a bunch of cameos from other Marvel characters in this?
That will be interesting. Yeah,
that would be interesting.
I think there's some.
I know Finn Jones can be there because I could sign the contract right now.
There's something going on in this film that we have not seen yet.
Sorry.
I just nearly spit water out all over my keyboard tape.
Yeah.
You think something's going on that we don't know about?
I do think there's going to be some surprises. I really do.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I mean, there's a lot going on. Just Black Panther dies, new bad guy comes. They got to figure out. That's a lot right there.
Ironheart. I mean, there's a lot. This is like right now. This is a huge setup movie.
Did we see Ironheart? Is that who that was?
That's the flying suit. Yeah.
I thought the sister was building something. I couldn't.
No, it's a different. It's a different actress, and that's a different character.
I couldn't tell. They had this just shot of people building stuff, and then a suit flying.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I'm like, who is that? It looked like a young girl.
It is.
It's a young girl. And then I'm like, oh, does the sister build her own suit because she's not Black Panther yet? Yep. So you think that makes more sense?
Yeah.
Got ya.
So this is in the comics. She was a kid in Chicago. So I don't know how they're going to tie it in with the story, but we'll see. But again,
I also wonder, like, Black Panther was a great comic book Marvel movie, but it was so much more to so many people, and I wonder, and it worked as a standalone thing, and I wonder if this will have the same.
That's what
effect.
I'm saying. There's no nucleus to this right now, and that's what I'm wondering about. It's like, is it just it all these disparate stories coming together? Is it? I just don't know. It's
yeah, but you want to know the thing of. Okay, the firstborn son, and we see that if you're watching House of the Dragon, and that's a whole big firstborn son. Who a woman can't be king or queen or lead a thing. There's a lot of that going on, and now firstborn son dead. Why shouldn't it be his younger sister? And with the whole thing as it should be, female equal rights, and why shouldn't she be? That's a big story, and that could be a lot for young black girls to be like, yeah, why can't I be
I think that
the hero?
That's everything you just said is right. I just wonder if this is going to work as a standalone thing, and maybe it doesn't need to because we already had the lead-in from the previous movie.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying what you're talking about, Dave, is a 2-hour movie, not a 3-hour movie.
No, I think that's a big part of it, but like if we go back to all the second movies except for Thor, trying to think. Well, at least the Captain America movies, they were bigger than just, right. the one character. It'd be cool if this was like, hey, guess what? Look who's showing up. This guy and that guy in this one.
They need to be careful with these runtimes. I mean, a 3-hour movie is a real commitment for non-hardcore comic book movie fans.
If there isn't something that blows people away, this is going to drop off. So if they want this to go where it's got to go, there's got to be, like I said, there's got to be things we haven't seen yet and things we don't expect.
Well, I hope so. Geez, I hope they didn't give us everything in the trailer.
Yeah, me too. Looking forward to it. This is another one I've got to figure out when I can get to see it.
Yeah.
That's 2 movies in the theater within a month. That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
All right.
Well, good. That's the last Marvel, obviously the last Marvel movie of
this year,
right? And then what's next? I don't even know. We don't have to know. We don't work there. I don't know. Not paying me. I don't know what's next. Fantastic Four is next.
Yes.
I wish.
Right. It is
not.
not.
It's not. I don't know. It's not next. Oh, Quantumania, I bet.
Yeah, that's got to be the next one.
March or something?
I will let you know momentarily. Upcoming Marvel releases and dates. Let's see. We've got Werewolf by Night. That's on TV. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
That's this week. As you listen to it.
Yep. The next one will be the Guardians Holiday Special. What If Season 2? Ant-Man is the next theatrical. February 17th.
February, okay.
Yep.
Cool. Okie dokie. So, the other thing we watched, we sort of said we were going to, and then we forgot about it, and then we did.
Well, you reminded us, which was good.
Well, I meant we said like weeks ago, because I recorded it weeks ago. The Quantum Leap reboot. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I feel like Quantum Leap was one of those things where I like the idea of it more than the actual watching of it, because there was a lot of boring episodes. Todd, you probably liked it better than
I did, but I liked it. I mean, I liked the show, but I wasn't like, it's not, I have no compulsion to ever go back and rewatch it.
It's not time travel per se.
No,
and
it's also like, you know, a very limited time frame that they were within, and they did a pretty good job of kind of capturing those eras. There was some controversial
more so than
things.
Better than Time Tunnel.
It wasn't bad. Like I said, it wasn't bad for what it was, and I think they might have been better to leave it alone. So.
Yeah, it's so funny hearing them say, "Oh, So anyway, if you spoilers, God, if you didn't see it, but when they said, "Oh, so the whole premise, if time, he jumps into someone else's body and then he has to perform something to jump." That seems so hokey now. Like, you mean a freaking supercomputer? Quantum whatever the hell you need to time travel needs you to fix somebody's crappy life so you can get out of it. It just seems, in the 80s maybe it was okay.
Also remember, in the show, something was controlling his leaping, and they never knew what it was.
And now we sort of know with the Ziggy and the code he put in. Sort
of, okay? But he always had to accomplish something before he could leap. And they never quite knew, they had to figure out what it was he had to accomplish. But there was never a clear explanation of what it was that was facilitating that. So what was the judge of that he had accomplished it or not? Because, there were certain times where it was like, it seemed obvious what he had to do, but that wasn't what he had to do. Or it was something, there was another one where, one of my favorite ones, where he actually convinces a child Stephen King to start writing, okay, and he does something else entirely through the whole course of the episode, and this kid is hanging around the whole time. It's Stephen King. And he's
that's funny.
It's like, yeah, you should think about being a writer. And it's like, you tell really good stories. He says, "What's your name?" He says, Stevie King. It's like, and it was like, boom, and that was it. And he
I don't remember that one, but his whole thing is. He has to change the timeline.
Oh, he had to correct,
which is the cardinal rule of time travel. You don't change the
timeline. That was the thing. It was like, but they also, there was like this again. There was this kind of almost mystical kind of thing, and that they didn't fully understand. This seems different in that regard. They had callbacks to both Sam Beckett and
that I thought was interesting.
I thought it was interesting, but is that just like bait to get people that were vested in the series to kind of hang on, thinking that this is going to solve? Because again, he never made it back.
Yeah, that is interesting. They did, and Scott Bakula, seemingly a little annoyed, put out a statement a couple of weeks ago. He has nothing to do. He has not been contacted. He's not involved in this reboot. Yet, they reference him. They show pictures of him. I guess they own the thing. That he disappeared. Like, he, as of, that happened in 1995, because it was in the future from when the show was. But he never came back, as of this show. I almost wish someone would sit down and 15 minutes tell me where they're going with all this, so I don't have to actually watch it. Because I'd like to know.
I've been super quiet at listening to the two of you talk. I want to jump in for a minute.
Go ahead.
Please jump in.
Because I don't think I really watched a whole lot of this when it was on the first time.
Yeah.
I saw a couple episodes and I liked it, but didn't.
It was all the same,
right?
More or less.
Part of me likes that it's tied to the original and that it's not a full-on reboot and that they did reference characters from the original. But then I'm sitting back at the end of the first episode saying, I think if they wanted this title, a straight-up reboot might have been better. Because if they're not going to actually tie it in to those characters, why reference them at all? Because nobody...
But I feel like they're
throwaways.
And
but if
I don't know if I trust them.
Here's my other concern with it. And I don't remember the original, so maybe it was the same way, but I feel like they are giving you all these mysteries to solve right up front in the first episode. Like, if you stick with this show over time, you'll figure out, well, why did he go and do this when he wasn't supposed to, and he didn't tell anybody he was doing it, and his fiance, he leaves her behind because there's some big thing that he couldn't tell her about, but you know it's not going to make it far enough. It's not going to be renewed.
That's your biggest hang-up.
And I'm never going to find out the
it.
answers to those questions, so I just don't want to get invested.
You're carrying around still. Come on.
I don't want to. No, it's not even Lost. It's other shows. It's Revolution. It's the freaking Sarah Connor Chronicles. God damn it!
I'm totally with you.
I don't want to get invested.
Flash forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the only things that, not that I even know if I'm going to watch this. I have not decided yet. But those are the only things. It's Dean Stockwell's daughter's involved in it, not the character's daughter.
Because she's wearing the ring.
Al's daughter. So that makes it interesting. The main character was not supposed to be the one leaping. His wife or fiance was supposed to be leaping.
Who he now doesn't even remember.
But he went in and put all this code in and then decided to leap. So those, and then the fact that what really happened to Sam and they think they solved it, those are the three most interesting things about the show. The going in and helping the stick-up man and whoever the hell gets, that's all irrelevant.
And here's
to
the
me.
thing. If they answer any of those questions, then what are you sticking around for? So you know they're not going to answer them anytime soon.
I have two words to say to you of little faith that could blow this whole thing and you could get 5 years at it. La Brea. This could be the #1 show of the new season, and we just don't know it.
Yeah.
Magnum Pi Reboot lasted like 5 years.
It also, and I know they're different, but it just had shades of Timeless to me. I don't know, like the Ernie Hudson character coming in there, and
Timeless was awesome.
No, I don't mean that. I just mean
Timeless is the one we liked.
Timeless was the one we liked.
Timeless did what Quantum Leap. They went to fix things as opposed to. Timeless was really good.
Timeless was great. I don't, and I'm not trying to necessarily compare them, but I'm just. You've got the person who's the computer expert, and you've got the person who's running the company who's mad all the time, and you've got.
For you guys who didn't see every episode, we never saw those. That the people back.
I don't remember any of that.
I'm not sure you needed to.
And every once in a while, there was this like backlit, blurred, like people working in the background thing.
Yeah, yes, that's right. We never. I like the fact that we're seeing them.
What kind of organization it was, and what kind of operation, and all this kind of stuff. And he didn't know himself because his mind was a little fractured. So. It could have just been Al in a garage somewhere. Who knows?
Al was a little annoying. This girl seems like she's a little more helpful.
Yeah.
Oh, she's also super cute. But
no question.
She's okay.
I thought she was cute.
But like the ensemble is just like, oh God, it's like it just seems like they're trying so hard to make something interesting other than the story, and it's like, what is Ernie Hudson doing? And what is, what's about Al's daughter? What about
there has to be a Halloween one where he says, "I ain't afraid of no ghosts," or something like that.
Yeah.
Or the Twinkie. And he has to be. Tell him about the Twinkie.
He
needs to throw a Ghostbuster line in there.
If you go on IMDb, it only lists 4 episodes.
Yeah, I don't get the security woman. She seems. Why do I feel like I'm suspicious of her? Don't you get that she's like the Fennec Shan character? They're trying to make her this
she was ready
angry,
to quit in the first episode.
She's
like, I don't know.
Our pal, Ming Na. They wanted her, but they couldn't get her because she plays that stern, Asian woman, and they're totally rip off her character.
Also, not quite Kelly Park. And it's like
It just didn't seem. It just felt very rote. I don't know. Like
it felt very broadcast TV
and
La Brea-ish.
They can get away with explaining stuff to him because his brains are scrambled. But when they're stopping and explaining stuff to each other in like 3-year-old, remember this is. It's like okay.
And
that's
if it's
the
supposed
third
to be
time
modern
two characters
times,
have explained
like,
this.
the super. Well, I don't even understand the role of the supercomputer and who programmed the supercomputer and what is the point. Just the whole thing.
The thing that they kind of explained. So they had this whole project. They resurrected it, and then he came along and threw a monkey wrench into the whole thing and screwed it up. And that's why it's that. I get that. If you were to be like, oh, we totally been working for 10 years. Oh, the same thing just happened again.
But if I just don't even understand, like, unless he's being blackmailed, what's going on that he literally couldn't tell anybody about, and he had to just go risk his life and the entire
I'm
project?
lay it out for you right here and now. Okay, Sam Beckett is her father, and he wants to find Sam Beckett and bring him back so he can walk her down the aisle. Boom.
But
stop.
Don't risk your entire future and everything on that. I mean, if you really love her, don't leave her on the potential of never coming back. Just so
I'm
you can
saying
maybe
that
bring
is
her father
schlocky
back.
enough for the level of this show.
It is,
but he came back on Chuck to do that for Ellie.
Did.
So maybe, yeah.
Why would Scott Bakula make a statement of, I haven't been contacted and I'm not involved in the show in any way? Does that sound like anyone else?
She-Hulk.
Who said that? That Titania Malwasi?
Absolutely.
And so did
definitively
Liam
said.
Neeson.
Yes. Exactly.
I am not connected with this show.
That is the thing.
He's going to be in it.
It's okay to lie as long as there's payoff.
Season finale, that's what they got to drop it in the season finale.
For who? Who cares? Who's still holding on?
I think it would be cool
shows up.
If he
it wasn't that big of a show to begin with, really.
No, it would be cool if his whole thing that he's doing is to find Sam.
Let me Google when the next Quantum Leap convention is. Oh wait, there isn't one. Ever.
Lost convention
I will tell
guy.
you, Quantum Leap was a decent show. That towards the end they did we're going to change this time slot every 15 minutes, and so it ended up with like a 0.0 audience share.
And look, I'm not trying to be hateful to the original show. I'm just saying it's not like there's people clamoring.
It wasn't the
for
greatest
Sam
show
Beckett
ever, but there is a
some
following
very
for
clever
it.
stuff. There are
I think
because
Scott Bakula was very good.
Are in retirement homes.
Well, and that's just it. Like I understand the idea of bringing something back for nostalgia or because of name recognition. I'm not sure that Quantum Leap has that much name recognition anymore.
There was no Magnum Pi, but it was pretty popular.
It's like, what have they got?
I get it.
There's no new ideas. They just want to reboot stuff.
But they could have rebooted this and done its own thing without trying to tie it to something that nobody's really all that nostalgic for.
I would bet you
Star Trek fans probably love it.
20% of the people that watch this show were curious because of the past series.
I'd say more than that.
Maybe.
And if there's people denial of the past series, you're going to lose that 20%.
You know who's going to watch this? People that have no streaming services, so they're still just stuck watching broadcast TV because there's better stuff to spend your time watching.
Is anyone going to watch another episode? I think we know Barry's answer. Todd?
No.
Oh, I would like to know if I'd like to. Part of me wants to know what happens, but I don't want to sit through it.
You can let us know. If honestly, I would look for like news related to this because if I saw that Scott Bakula popped up, I would go back and watch that.
I would too.
I like how you started this, Dave, by saying if somebody could just tell me in 15 minutes what's going to happen, so I don't have to watch it.
Yeah,
I will. Basically, Dave is saying I will read the Wikipedia entry after the show is canceled,
or if there's some condensed version on YouTube 6 months from now.
Yeah,
I don't know why I didn't make the connection. Probably because I was bored out of my mind. But the fact that Al's daughter is involved, Al we know is dead. They said that.
You know what Dave wants? Dave wants there to be a second season so he can watch last season on Quantum Leap.
And he would like them to just lead that out now.
So if it makes it to season 2, Dave, just start there and you'll be good.
Yeah, I'll do that. But he's definitely going to find Sam, and I didn't even love that series. I mean, I sort of like I like the idea of it. I never even watched them all, but it was one of those things that. the idea of was better because we didn't have any time travel back then in the 80s, right? Was there anything good?
And again,
Yeah,
it
you're
wasn't
right.
like I said. There were some. It actually got nominated
There were some
for
good
some
episodes,
things. There
for
were some
sure.
good episodes, and it was one of these things. It was like Star Trek in the way where you could do social kind of things. You could work social
Totally,
issues into it.
totally.
You know, he could be a black woman during the civil rights demonstrations and stuff.
There
like
was a
this.
lot of that.
and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and some of it was a little heavy-handed, but they also they had some good points, and you know
It lasted a decent amount of seasons, right?
it did, yeah. I mean,
And it's now on Sci-Fi Channel all the time.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess to
Owned
me
by
it
NBC
it
Universal.
just feels like there's so much good stuff on now that if for somebody with unlimited amounts of TV watching time, go for it. I feel like I'm having to be more choosy about what I'm watching, and this just doesn't hold my interest enough. There's good stuff I haven't watched any of Sandman yet. I haven't watched the last season of Umbrella
Okay, so
Academy. I
let
haven't
me
watched
ask-
Evil season 3.
I got one more question about like new TV shows. When are we going to like decide that unattractive people are underrepresented? Because like this is yet another show where everyone looks and dresses like a model, you know, and it's just like or like an ad, and it's just
That is what Resident
That's definitely
Alien is
broadcast.
doing so well.
yeah, it is.
And I don't know
You're
if you guys see
you're-
the season finale on Resident Alien?
Nope.
No, we have
nope.
not.
I'm not.
I'm not going to
behind
say a
it.
word
Definitely
other
behind.
than.
But
it
Barry,
was
you were
awesome.
absolutely right. People on that show, with the exception of
Look like
Mayor's
real
wife,
people.
who was smoking hot,
She's crazy hot.
look like real people.
Yeah.
And these, I get another one of these shows where it's like, oh, you know, where it's like, coincidentally, everybody in the FBI class this year looks like, you know, looks.
That was what it was 10 years ago when
I
there
know.
was that Quantico. It was
That's
like
what I'm
everyone's a
saying.
model.
It's like there's been all these shows where it's just like nobody during casting says, let's get somebody that looks kind of just like a normal person.
I got to see those jerks on the subway. Why do I have to see them on my television too?
It's like, yeah.
So anyway, if anyone likes Quantum Leap, let us know. I bet Sean liked the old show. I wonder what he. I think he may have posted about it. I don't remember, but we'll see.
The good thing is, if it does turn out that it gets really good, it'll be.
You could always watch it.
You can always go back and watch it.
You could always go back.
I am
But I'd
just
rather
waiting
wait
for-
to see if it's going to be good than at this point get invested and have it be canceled and be just like so disappointed that you never find out what the hell happened. At least Timeless, when they canceled it, they did the right thing.
They
and
did the right
They
thing.
gave you
totally
the
did
ending.
the right
Yes,
thing.
they absolutely
yeah,
did.
Time is one of those shows that grew on you, and then it's like, wow, this is really clever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm glad they wrapped
I
it
really hope they bring Dean Stockwell back. That's all.
Well, maybe if his family sells the rights to the deepfake company.
Deepfakes.
Yeah. They got the old
he'll just-
holograms.
That would actually be. That would be kind of cool to like bring him up as a hologram, and just be like, what's he doing? You know, in an episode, it's like, what's he doing here? Oh, he's looking for somebody else. Yeah, God knows they have the footage.
Okay.
So
That's
just to be
Quantum
clear,
Leap.
we're 3 thumbs down on this, or Dave, you're
2 thumbs down,
Oh,
one
I don't
thumb sort of questionable thumb.
No, I like I said, I want to know. I want to know what goes on. Unlike La Brea, I don't care what goes on. So I want to know what goes on with this. I don't want to have to watch it. That's where I am with it.
I categorize all these shows as under the dome. I just like I got sucked into that for 3 years. I don't ever want to do it again.
yeah.
I bailed at that.
I
Did
watched all of
Revolution.
it.
Did Revolution wrap up? I remember.
No,
I
Revolution
liked that
just
show.
ended.
Yeah,
I like that one too. I like anything Elizabeth Mitchell's in, but you know, then they just ended it.
Boy, she's actually got a track record for being in stuff that ends like that. Because I think there's another one too. Trying to think what it is.
I don't know, but
Yeah. Yep.
we'll see. Okay. Any last thoughts?
nothing
I
here.
didn't think. Anytime I ask, there aren't any. Have your pet spayed or neutered for sure, and send the spokesmodels to my dressing room. It's Bob Barker. He slept with like
Yeah,
all the
I know.
spokesmodels.
Yeah.
But he was doing good things for
He was.
cats and dogs.
So you thought, I was watching on Game Show Network the other night an old episode of Deal or No Deal. That show would never be made today. Put like 25 attractive women in negligees on a stage in high heels holding suitcases. Would they ever make that show today?
They're rebooting that. Are you kidding me?
Are they really?
I'm sure they'll reboot it. Yeah, it wouldn't be.
And
anyway,
the episode
all right.
I happened to watch had Meghan Markle in it, which just made me laugh. Meghan Markle, the queen, the prince's wife.
I thought you meant
no. She was a Deal or No Deal suitcase girl. Now she's married
was she?
to one
I
of
thought
the
you meant
royals. Yeah,
the woman who was Megan. Somebody, the one who was Letterman's producer.
No. I'm talking about
somebody
somebody that's
else.
married to the royal now.
Oh, that's a good one to see.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, that's enough. So check out Quantum Leap and let us know what you think, and
Or don't.
do whatever. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.